Hello, everyone. This is what's new and up and coming, new and coming up with lipedema. I'm Siobhan. I'm the research specialist with Lipedema Simplified. I'm soloing it this week. I am 5 minutes early. I just felt like it, but I won't start anything substantial until it's actually the scheduled time. You may also notice, or at least I noticed, that it is an hour later than we usually start. That is when it was scheduled. I have no idea why. Or maybe I'm wrong and I'm off by an hour. I know there is the time change, so maybe that's why. In any case, if you are in the chat, go ahead and say hi, hello, if you're doing anything for Halloween this year, today, and also happy Halloween. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, possibly my favorite, probably Halloween, Thanksgiving, in that order. I do see somebody is here, so do please say hello so that I know I'm not alone as I solo this week. But yes, welcome. For those who don't know, this is where we talk about everything that's new and coming up with Lipedema, generally talking about like webinars and any conferences or stuff that's coming up. We do have stuff coming up in the following week. Oh, and Sue said hi from York, Pennsylvania. Hello. I bet it is very pretty there at this time of year. Currently, for 2 more days, I'm in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It actually is quite pretty here, and today it is cloudy and a little bit rainy and gray, which I actually like. So in terms of stuff that is coming up, I'll probably keep this one pretty short. But the big thing is, let's see, first up, let me pull up my thing, is we have Getting into the Holiday Spirit. That is coming up on Monday, November 3rd. It's at 6 p.m. Eastern. And that's going to be with Leslyn Keith and Catherine Seo. So this is a free webinar that you can sign up for. And that is Gentle Science-Informed Support for Thriving with Lipedema and Lymphedema is the subtitle on that one. So I'll go ahead and put this information here. Okay, so I put that link in the chat for you. And again, that is a free webinar. And just like with all of our free webinars, if you don't have time to attend live, then you can always sign up and then we'll send you the recording later on after it's been edited and all that. So again, that is going to be on Monday, November 3rd, this year at 6 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be 4 p.m. Mountain Time, all of that. And then, yeah, so that will be really every year we do something regarding the holidays. With anything that people are doing that's kind of lifestyle related, often the holidays comes up in terms of, you're more likely to be around other people. There's holiday foods. There's, during Halloween, there's candy and treats and cookies and pies and all this different stuff. And then, of course, there's also, for many people, Thanksgiving and Christmas as well. So we like to do something every year. And this webinar is going to be focusing on that. And then also, so we usually do a kind of Thriving Through the Holidays CSIG, which we will be doing this year as well, but more information on that later. But there's also this aspect of like during the holidays, it can be helpful to recenter and focus on things like self-care and taking the holiday a little bit slower, things like that. So like with mom, for example, my mom specifically, but we're both knitters, and one thing that she likes to do is she likes to knit things for people for Christmas and birthdays and things like that. And like one thing that can come up with knitters is that can be really stressful during the holiday season. So one thing that she does is she spreads out her Christmas knitting throughout the year. So she has like a deadline per month or however it is that she does it to spread it out so that by the time the holiday season comes around, she can be a little bit more relaxed, more just prepping for whatever they're going to do for Christmas at my parents' place. And so it's just practical stuff like that, like whatever you're dealing with in terms of your typical care, how can you do it in a way so that you're not stressed out during the holidays, so that you actually get to enjoy it? And yeah, how do you navigate a lot of that stuff? Like, during holidays, some people travel. How do you keep up with your self-care while traveling? Yeah. So if you're interested in any of those topics or anything related to holidays and lymphedema care, please do sign up. I put the link in the chat. It is free. And again, if you can't attend live, just sign up and you'll get the recording to watch afterwards whenever you have time. And then Jenny said, "Hi, Siobhan. Hello back." Nancy said, "Hello and happy Halloween from Saskatchewan. Happy Halloween back to you." And then Patsy said, "Hi, all. Sunny in Southwest Arkansas." Awesome. Okay, so beyond that, the other big thing that's coming up next week, and why you almost certainly, I think, won't see me next week at the Friday Facebook Live, is that I will be at the next World Lipedema Congress that is being held in Italy. So I will be flying home on Sunday and then flying back out that same week to head over to Rome, Italy. And yeah, so I will be attending there. So the pre-Congress is Wednesday, but that's the same day I'll be arriving. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the actual Congress. So it depends on if there's, internet connection and stuff like that. I might be able to make it to the Facebook Live while there. If so, I will do so. If not, I'll give you an update on the following week. I will be in Sweden at that point with my husband, and I will be there for quite some time through the new year. But the World Lipedema Congress, the first one was the year before last. I also attended that one. That one was in Potsdam, Germany. This time I'm just attending, so I'm not doing any posters or anything like that, but that means I'll have much more headspace to go and talk to people, see what research they're doing, watch the talks, and all of that good stuff. So I'll definitely gather up lots of information, talk to lots of people. I'll probably get pictures with a lot of people if I remember to ask, which I usually don't, but I will try. And yeah, so basically, if you're not sure what the Congress is, this is something that is hosted, I believe, by the Lipedema World Alliance. And then, so it's basically researchers and clinicians and surgeons from all over the world come together, and they did some stuff like consensus statements at the last time for the members of it, so not just the attendees but the actual members. And then they also include patient organizations as well, so it's got a really good balance of patient representation, clinicians, and researchers, because they all have their different perspectives, and then they all come together to talk about different issues that impact lipedema. So things like being able to access care, the different state of insurance coverage in different countries, how accessible is compression in different countries, what's recommended by the guidelines in different countries. Are there guidelines in some countries? In some countries there are not. What is the state of awareness and advocacy in each place? What are the patient's concerns? Just a bunch of different topics, and then all the latest research that's coming out. Like at the last Congress, the year before last, there was some new and up and coming research that hadn't even been published yet, like was in the process of being published, that I got to watch presentations on. Super exciting stuff. So yeah, basically I will be attending. So I may or may not be able to come to the Facebook Live, but I will definitely be giving you updates as soon as I possibly can. It's a really big deal. I'm very excited to be able to go again this year. And yeah, it's just really cool to be able to meet a lot of the different researchers and talk about just like their different perspectives on what they think is happening with lipedema, what kind of things they're excited to research in the future. And I think I froze for just a second, but I should be back now. So let's see. Sue said, "Very cool. Enjoy Italy. What city is it?" It's in Rome. Um, so I don't know if I'm gonna have time to actually like go explore Rome. But yes, it is in Rome. Luckily, it is close to the airport, so I don't have to super worry about figuring out navigation. Like exploring the different parts of the US, I'm generally fine with, because the transportation is usually fairly easy to figure out. Europe, especially when I'm going alone, is kind of weird to me. I don't know. Um, but yeah, and then the Congress like location is kind of, it's not like in Rome, it's kind of off by itself. So yeah, I have my hotel booked and everything. The hotel is closer to the airport than the van. Hopefully, I don't get lost or stranded or stuck or whatever. But I'm sure it'll be great, and I'm sure I'll have tons of fun, and I'm sure it'll be very informative, and I'll learn all sorts of new things that I will share back with you. So those are the two main things that are coming up. So we have the free webinar that's on Monday, and then the Congress is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And yeah, I think those are the two main things. Let me double check one last thing. I think we have, yeah, so we have another thing coming up, but it's not until the week after next. So we shall touch on that on Friday, but lots of very cool, interesting things. I'm not 100% certain who all else is going to be at the Congress. If there's probably going to be people that I know because I met a bunch of people last time. Um, but I don't know, new exciting adventures. And it does end up being kind of convenient for me because if I like go somewhere in Europe for the Congress whenever it pops up, then I can just hop over to Sweden afterwards. And I usually budget for a trip to Sweden once a year, if possible, to go see my husband. So it ends up working out. And then, like, the flights from wherever to Sweden are usually not that expensive. So, yes, it will be very interesting. I'm hoping I will at least be able to try some Italian food because they do have like good cured meat and cheese, I'm sure, and sausage and things like that. So we shall see. Let's see. Sue said Dr. V and his team will be there. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guarantee there's going to be people that I know who are there. Just because, I mean, it's a pretty well connected community. Um, and there's a lot of really cool people in there. So if you read through like the papers and I mean, even just attend the events that we have, you'll start to see names that you'll recognize. But yeah, and by the way, I should mention, the year before last, they didn't have a live streaming option, but they did have a kind of pay-per-view um, option for the talks and stuff like that afterwards. I'm not sure if they're doing that same thing this time, but regardless, whether they have live stream or recorded for purchase options, I would totally recommend it just based off of my experience last time because there's just so much new stuff. Like I try to stay on top of the research as much as I can, but there was just additional stuff I wouldn't have even thought to look for in the research. And they do also know during these presentations, they're presenting not just to clinicians and researchers, but also the patient advocacy groups. So they're usually pretty good at communicating. And then, of course, if there's stuff that's not quite clear or things like that, there's the Q&A afterwards. And then, of course, we always bring back any information that we get and talk about it in more conversational terms and kind of translating it for anybody who doesn't follow as easily or isn't as used to the terminology being used. So, all that to say, I do have a busy day today because I only have 2 more days here. But I did want to catch you up on those 2 big things. The free webinar, please do sign up. I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat again. That is all about the holidays, and then also the Congress. I will see if I can grab. I usually pull it up by looking for World Lipedema Congress. I am typing with one hand because I'm holding my phone with the other. 2025. Yes, here it is. Yep, okay. I will also pop the link in here in case you happen to be in Rome, Italy. Or if in case they have any like pay-per-view or live stream options. It should mention it somewhere in here. I don't think they have live stream. I don't blame them. It's often kind of difficult and pricey to get set up. But they will probably have pay-per-view options after the Congress is done. So keep an eye out for that. And then if I learn of any while there, I will report back and let you know how to access them, when they'll be available, whatever other information I have. So with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and end here. But you will hear from me again either next week or the week after that, just depending. Well, you'll definitely see me the week after that. But you may or may not see me next week, but I will have updates as soon as I possibly can. So I hope everybody has a happy Halloween if you celebrate it. I hope you see lots of kids in cute little costumes and stuff like that. But if not, have something pumpkin spice flavored if you like it, or something warm and cozy if you're in a place where warm and cozy would be appreciated right now. I am, so I will probably go grab a coffee or something. Okay, yes. And Patsy said, have a wonderful time. Excited for you. Yes, I will, and I will report back and share that excitement with all of you as soon as I can. So, see you guys next time, and thanks for stopping by.